nervous prostration and worry. Nervous prostration is generally understood to mean weakness of the nerves. It invariably comes to those who have extra strong nerves but who do not know how to use them properly, as well as those whose nervous system is naturally weak and easily disorganized. Nervous prostration is a disease of overwork, mainly mental overwork, and in 99 cases out of 100 comes from worry. Worry is the most senseless and insane form of mental work. It is as if a bicycle rider were so riding against time that the moment after he got off his machine to sit down to a meal, he sprang up again, and while eating were to work his arms and legs as if he were riding. It is the slave driver that stands over the slave and compels him to continue his work, even though he is so exhausted that hands, arms, and legs cease to obey, and he falls asleep at his task. The folly, as well as the pain and distress of this cruel slave driving, is that we hold the whip over ourselves, have trained ourselves to do it, and have done it so long that now we seem unable to stop. In another chapter there is fully described, in Dorothy Canfield's vivid words, the squirrel cage whirligig of modern society life. Modern business life is not much better. Men compel themselves to the endless task of amassing money without knowing why they amass it. They make money that they may enlarge their factories, to make more ploughs to get more money, to enlarge their factories, to make more ploughs to get more money, to enlarge their factories, to make more ploughs, and so on ad infinitum. Where is the sense of it? Such conduct has well been termed money madness. It is an obsession, a disease, a form of hypnotism, a mental malady. The tendency of the age is to drive. We drive our own children to school. There they are driven for hours by one study after another. Even when they come home, they bring lessons with them, the lovers of study and over-conscientious because they want to do them, and the laggards because they must, if they are to keep up with their classes. If the parents of such children are not careful, they, the children, soon learn to worry. They are behindhand with their lessons. They didn't get the highest mark yesterday. The class is going ahead of them, and so on, until mental collapse comes. For worrying is the worst kind of mental overwork, as Dr. Edward Livingston Hunt of Columbia University, New York, said in a paper read by him early in 1912 before the Public Health Education Committee of the Medical Society of the County of New York. Quote, "There is a form of overwork exceedingly common and exceedingly disastrous, one which equally accompanies great intellectual labours and minor tasks. I allude to worry. When we medical men speak of the workings of the brain, we make use of a term both expressive and characteristic. It is to cerebrate. To cerebrate means to think, to reason, and to reach conclusions. It means to concentrate and to work hard. To think, then, is to cerebrate. To worry is to cerebrate intensely. Worry is overwork of the most disastrous kind. It means to drive the mental machinery at an unreasonable and dangerous rate. Worry gives the brain no rest, but rather keeps the delicate cells in constant and continuous action. Work is wear. Worry is tear. Overwork, mental strain, and worry lead to a diminution of nerve force and to a prostration of the vital forces, and causes a degeneracy of the blood vessels of the brain. Exhaustion, another name for fatigue, may show itself either in the form of physical collapse, so that the patient lacks resistance and, becoming anemic and run down, falls a prey to any and every little ailment, or in the form of mental collapse. An exhausted brain then gives way to depression, to fears, and to anxiety. The vast majority of nervous breakdowns are avoidable. They are the result of our own excesses and of the disregard we show towards the ordinary laws of health and hygiene. They are the results of the tremendous demands which are made upon us by modern life. They are the results of the strenuous life." End quote. From this analysis, made by an expert, it is evident that worry and nervous prostration are but 2 points on the same circle. Nervous prostration causes worry, and worry causes nervous prostration. those who overwork their bodies and minds, who drive themselves either with the cares of business, the amassing of wealth, yielding to the demands of society, the cravings of ambition, or the pursuit of pleasure, are alike certain to suffer the results of mental overwork. And here let me interject what to me has become a fundamental principle upon which invariably I rely. It will be recalled what I have said elsewhere of selfish and unselfish occupations. It is the selfish occupations that produce nerve exhaustion. Those that are unselfish seldom result in the disturbance of the harmony or equilibrium of our nature, whether we regard it as physical, mental, or spiritual. This may seem to be a transcendental statement, perhaps it is, but I am confidently assured of its essential truth. That man or woman who is truly engaged in an unselfish work, a work that is for the good of others, has a right to look for, to expect, and to receive from the great all-source of strength, power, and serenity all that is needed to keep the body, mind, and soul in harmony, consequently in perfect health and free from worry. Hence the apparent paradox that if you would care for yourself, you must disregard yourself in your loving care for others. One great reason why worry produces nervous prostration is that it induces insomnia. Worry and sleeplessness are twin sisters. As one has well said, refreshing sleep and vexing thoughts are deadly foes. Health and happiness often disappear from those who fail to sleep, for sleep indeed is tired nature's sweet restorer, as Young in his Night Thoughts termed it. Shakespeare never wrote anything truer when he said, quote, "Sleep that knits up the ravelled sleeve of care, the death of each day's life, sore labour's bath, balm of hurt minds, great nature's second course, chief nourisher of life's feast," end quote. Or where he spoke of it as, quote, "Sleep that sometimes shuts up sorrow's eye, steals me a while from mine own company," end quote. Even the Bible makes sleep one of the special blessings of God, for we are told that He giveth His beloved sleep. The sacred book contains many references to sleeplessness and its causes. Undoubtedly, most potent among these causes is worry. The worrier retires to his bed at the usual hour, but his brain is busy, it is working overtime. What is it doing? Is it thinking over things that are to be done and planning for the future? If so, there is a legitimate excuse, for as soon as the plan is laid, rest will come and he will sleep. Is he thinking over the mistakes of the past and sensibly and wisely taking counsel from them? If so, he will speedily come to a decision, and then sleep will bring grateful oblivion. Is he thinking joyful thoughts? These will bring a natural feeling of harmony with all things, and that is conducive to speedy sleep. Is he thinking of how he may help others? That is equally soothing to nerves, brain, and body, and brings the refreshment of forgetfulness. But no, the worrier has another method. He thinks the same thoughts over and over again, without the slightest attempt to get anywhere. He has thrashed them out before, so often that he can tell exactly what each thought will lead to. His ideas go around in a circle, like the horse tied to the wheel. He is on a treadmill, ever ascending, tramping up, 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 and still up. But the wheel falls down each time, as far as he steps up, and after hours and hours of unceasing, racking, distressful mental labour, he has done absolutely nothing. He has not progressed 1 inch, is still in the clutch of the same vicious treadmill. Brain-weary, nerve-weary, is there any wonder that he rolls and tosses, throws over his pillow, kicks off the clothes, groans, almost cries aloud, in his agony of longing for rest? Poor victim of worry and sleeplessness, how I long to help you get rid of your evil habit and save others from falling into it. For both worry and sleeplessness are habits, easily gained, and once gained, very hard to get rid of, yet both unnecessary, needless, and foolish. The worry that produces sleeplessness is merciless. so merciless and relentless that no fierce torture of a blackhander can be described, that is worse in its long continuing and evil results. Lives are wrecked, brains shattered, happiness destroyed by this monstrous evil, and many a man and woman fastens it upon himself, herself, through indulging in anxious thought, or by yielding to that equal devil-dragon of self-pity. David the psalmist graphically tells of his own case. I am weary with my groaning. Every night make I my bed to swim. I water my couch with my tears. Mine eye wasteth away because of grief. Psalm 6, verses 6 and 7. At another time he cries, my God, why hast thou forsaken me? Why art thou so far from helping me, and from the words of my groaning? O my God, I cry in the daytime, but thou answerest not, and in the night season I am not silent. Psalm 22, verses 1 and 2. Yet God heard him not until his groaning and self-pity were cast aside, until he rested in God, trusted in him. Then came rest, as he graphically expresses it. I laid me down and slept. I awaked, for Jehovah sustaineth me. Psalm 3, verse 5. In peace will I both lay me down and sleep, for thou, Jehovah, alone maketh me dwell in safety. Psalm 4, verse 8. I will bless Jehovah, who hath given me counsel. Yea, my heart instructeth me in the night seasons. Psalm 16, verse 7. See the result of this confidence in God. I have set Jehovah always before me. Because he is at my right hand, I shall not be moved. Therefore my heart is glad, and my glory rejoiceth. My flesh also shall dwell in safety. Psalm 16, verses 8 and 9. And where the heart is glad, and one rejoiceth in the sense of peace and safety, sweet sleep lays its soothing hand upon the work-worn brain and body, tired with the labours of the day, and brings rest, repose, recuperation. End of chapter 3.